Okay. Stop. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Seva, and today we're gonna do a pumpkin theme. So we already did our apple themed videos before, and I can link the playlist up on the screen for if you guys want to check it out. But today we're gonna make pumpkin spice overnight oats. So if you guys are interested in this recipe, make sure to continue watching. But before you continue, make sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that little bell so you don't miss another one of my videos. All right, let's get started. So we're officially in November, and to get our mind off of politics, I figured we'll make some really good recipes this week. So we already did, like I said, my whole apple series, and we're gonna start off today with our pumpkin series doing overnight oats. Now, this recipe is another super easy, simple, and healthy recipe for you guys to try at home. And it's perfect for those of you out there who like to meal prep, but it'll also work for those of you out there who just don't care to do that, and maybe you're just feeling a little lazy, or you don't feel like making something in the morning, so you'll just do it quickly at night. That way you can get up in the morning and just grab it and go. Now, this recipe can be vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free depending on the ingredients that you decide to use. If you don't care about these different things, or you don't have an intolerance or an allergy or anything like that, then you can just use whatever ingredients that you want. But for today's purposes, we're going to make these vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free. So let's be real, most of us don't have the time in the morning to just make a gourmet breakfast every time that's really super nutritious and delicious and everything. Like, who's got time for that, right? So what better way than to just, like I said, make something the night before that you know is just going to be delicious, already done, you don't have to think about it, and it's going to be nutritious. You could just grab it and go, grab it, heat it up if you want, eat it cold, whatever floats your boat. Now I know I'm being a little basic here with the pumpkin spice, but I don't know. To me, November, just pumpkin spice, and it's basic, but it tastes delicious, and I swear this tastes just like pumpkin pie and you won't be disappointed. So every single overnight oat recipe that you're going to find out there is going to have at least two basic ingredients, oats and milk. Now you can always, like I always say, customize this however you want, add in whatever spices, add in whatever different kinds of milk, whatever fruit, whatever nuts, whatever it is that you want. But sticking to the basics, it's oats and milk. So for our oats, it's always going to be best to use old-fashioned rolled oats. Now, to ensure that everything is definitely gluten-free, you just want to make sure that you're grabbing one that says certified gluten-free. That way you don't have an issue. Now, I like using these rolled oats here because they just maintain their shape and their texture really well. They're not going to get like super soggy and turn to mush and just gross like the quick oats would. No one wants a soggy breakfast. Now for milk, there's so many different milks that are out there on the market, but for this recipe in particular, I would keep it to cashew milk, almond milk, or just regular cow's milk. But if you want to keep it that vegan, vegetarian, then you're obviously going to want to go with a cashew or an almond milk instead. Now the only milk that I wouldn't recommend in this recipe is going to be coconut milk, because that just has a really strong coconut flavor, and that's just going to make everything tastes like coconut and just be very overpowering, and you're going to lose that whole pumpkin spice. That's like the whole point of this recipe. Now for this recipe, one of the things that's going to give us that pumpkin taste is going to be a pumpkin puree. Now make sure you're getting pumpkin puree and not a pumpkin pie filling. Those are two different things. Now you can always make your own at home with pumpkins, but to be honest with you, I think the canned is best in this situation because it's really good. The one I have here is all natural with no preservatives. There's no junk in there. And it's just very time consuming to make your own. And it's not like it's that much better. So I wouldn't even bother, to be honest with you. And that's coming from me, who I like to just try and make everything myself. But just go with the canned here. The other thing is going to be a pumpkin pie spice. So this is a pumpkin spice blend. Now there's different kinds. So for this one, there's cinnamon, there's ginger, there's nutmeg, and there's allspice. Now there's all different kinds out there, and if you don't have a pumpkin spice blend or pumpkin blend, or you can't find it at the store, you can always just make your own and just grab some nutmeg or cinnamon, whatever it is that you have at the house. To be honest, you could probably just use cinnamon too if you wanted, because that does taste really good on its own, but this is going to be a pumpkin one. So for this recipe, I'm going to be using that, but you guys are more than welcome to use whatever spices that you want. Now this recipe calls for coconut sugar, so this is just going to be a refined sugar-free sugar, but you can always use normal granulated sugar, and today I'm going to be using my monk fruit sweetener like you saw in my Starbucks Keto Pink Drink video. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check that out, but that's what I'm going to be using here today. And for additional flavor and sweetener, we're going to be using pure maple syrup. Pure maple syrup. This is what's going to make it gluten-free too. Please don't use just normal like pancake syrup. That's not what you're going to want here. Pure maple syrup. This is just going to ensure that it is gluten-free. You're going to get way better nutrition and the taste is way better. And of course, as always, vanilla. I mean, for me, I feel like this is just necessary. Some people just omit it. Some people put a lot more than they're supposed to, but I think it's necessary and it really just creates a nice flavor profile for your oats. And finally, some pecans. Now, this is totally optional, or you can put other nuts in there if you want. I just think the pecans taste really good with that whole pumpkin spice flavor. Now, like I said, this is optional. I'm a texture kind of girl, so because everything else is really soft and creamy, I want a little bit of crunch. And what I like to do is I like to typically add this after everything's already soaked so I still get that crunch, but you can totally put it in now with everything and let it soak together. It's really up to you guys. It's just going to be a little bit softer if you do it that way. Now this is going to take only 10 minutes to prep. The longest part here just waiting for them to soak. Now you can do them overnight, you can do them during the day. You just want to make sure that they're soaking for at least a couple hours before you go and grab them and eat them. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this recipe is going to yield 4. So you're going to want 4 6 to 8 ounce jars. I'm using 6 ounce little like creme brulee thingies just because they're aesthetically pleasing and it's going to look nice for my photos. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start off by taking half a cup of your oats and putting them into each one of your jars or containers or whatever it is that you have. Then you're going to want to do the same with your milk. Don't judge me for the way I'm doing this. Just put half a cup in each one. This is what happens when you're anal. I'm going to just... Then we're going to scoop these aside and we're going to take all of our other ingredients. So we have our pumpkin puree, we have our monk fruit sweetener, we have our, let me grab that again. We have our pure maple syrup, our vanilla extract, and our pumpkin spice. Smells so good. Now, I'm just gonna grab a good old whisk. We're just gonna whisk this on all together just to make sure everything is blended nice and evenly. Oh, you guys, this smells so good. Can't wait to be basic with my pumpkin spice. Okay. Now you should have something that looks like this. Can you, oh, where's the angle? Oh well, this way. That looks like this. Oh, see how thick and creamy that is. So now all you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna want to just evenly distribute this into all of your jars. So it's gonna be like roughly 3 tablespoons each. So I'm just going to take like a tablespoon at a time, scoop it in there. Look how easy that is. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think there is ever a time where you can't have breakfast food. Like, I would totally eat this right now. What time is it? It's like around 2:30. I would totally eat this right now. I don't care. We're just gonna give this not necessarily a stir, because that'll probably be more so something that you do later. Just gonna mix this around just a bit. You guys, I can't even. This smells incredible. Do keep in mind too, like, this is obviously going to be expanding a little bit once the oats kind of get nice and soaked up. So good. Are we serious? This is so good. Like, look how quick, easy, and simple that was. And like I said, like, I mean, do you honestly want to really be sitting here cutting open pumpkin, carving it all out, scooping it, mushing it? Like, the can is all good, it's all natural, there's no preservatives, there's no junk. It just saves you so much time. No judgment. Oh, okay, so you guys know how impatient I get. So what I'm going to do is just let this chill in the fridge for about 2 hours. That's the least amount of time that you want to let this hang out for. But ideally, I mean, you're probably just going to want to let this sit overnight and just have some in the morning. But I can't wait, so you know I'm going to have it in a couple hours. And just keep in mind that obviously the longer you let it sit, the softer and creamier everything's gonna get. So if you don't like things to be like super soggy or whatever it is, like just keep in mind what however many servings that you're planning on making and how long you're planning on leaving that in the fridge. Does that make sense? So let me just go run really quick and put these in the fridge and I'll be right back. Alright, so we're all in the fridge, and like I said, I'm waiting to add my pecans or whatever nuts it is that you guys want to add kind of right before I give it to myself to serve because like I said, I like to have some more texture and a little bit of a crunch. Now if I put them in there right now, it's going to be just as good. You're going to get that flavor in there, but they're just going to be softer, and that's just not what I personally want. So while these are sitting in the fridge, I'm just going to give you some notes, some tips, and maybe answer a few questions for you guys that you're probably going to have for me. So number one, are you supposed to eat overnight oats, hot or cold? Now this is going to be completely up to you. You can easily just grab it and go. You can just as easily just pop it in the microwave for like 1 to 2 minutes, nothing crazy, just heat them up a little bit. But do keep in mind you might want to just add a little bit more of that milk to get your desired texture, but it's really just up to you guys. It's whatever you want. If you take it out and you're like, this is a little too thick for me, I want it a little bit thinner consistency, just add some more milk. Now, how long are they going to last in the refrigerator? Of course, for those of you out there who like to meal prep, and these are all for you or whatever it may be. Now, these are going to last in the fridge for up to 3 to 4 days. So that's why, I mean, technically this serving size that I picked is going to be for 4, so it's going to be like 4 days, like 1 every day. And just like I said before, keep in mind that the longer you have them in there, the, I don't want to say soggy, but kind of like the mushier texture you're going to get. Now, if you're looking to meal prep these oats and you don't like a really soggy texture, what you can do is you can do exactly what I did before and prep everything in your jars, right? But just the night before you're trying to eat these in the next morning, you're just going to add your milk then. Like, don't add all of your milk to all your jars and let that sit, let's say Sunday for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. You're going to want to do that. Okay, it's Monday, I need mine for tomorrow. Like, I already have my oats and my puree, everything done. I'm just going to add my milk tonight. Does that make sense? Well, that's all of the questions or notes that I can think of right now. If you guys have any more questions for me, make sure to ask me in the comment section below, and I'll definitely answer you. But now it's time to wait. So I will check back in with you guys in a couple hours and we'll try some. Okay guys, so it's been about 3 hours and we're all nice and soaked, and I'm just going to add some of our pecans to just the one that I'm going to try. Like I said, you could add these when you add all the other ingredients, but I want a little bit of a crunch. So good, you guys. I actually don't mind this cold. You get just enough of that crunch. You definitely have the sweetness. You have so many spices going on. It's just super, super creamy. It's not soggy at all, obviously, like I had said. And I truly, truly recommend using just rolled oats here. You're not going to want to use quick oats because it's just going to get real soggy and everything's going to turn into mush, and it's not going to be good, especially if you're planning on meal prepping these and making them in bulk throughout the week. It's just going to be nasty. Well, that's all I have for this video today, you guys. I hope you liked it and I hope you learned something new. If you did like it, make sure to give this video a nice thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss another one of my videos. If you want to get my exclusive nutrition tips, healthy food recommendations, and delicious recipes just like this one, then make sure to head over to my description box, click the link, and join the fam. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.